हु इज ब्रह्म खत्रीज? ब्रह्म खत्री कौन है? ये कहाँ से उत्पन्न हुए? इनकी उत्पत्ति कहाँ से हुई? इस विषय पर आज मैं प्रयास करूँगा कुछ प्रकाश डालने का। कुछ बुक्स मैंने पढ़ी हैं जहाँ से मुझे सोर्स पता लगा है। हिस्ट्री ऑफ ब्रह्म खत्रीज इज द बेस्ड ऑन सीरीज ऑफ आर्टिकल्स एक रिटन बाय श्री गौरी शंकर खत्रीज, published in Hinglaj Jyoti, Jodhpur in 1980 or 81. The learned writer had drawn this information from following books: Shri Vishnu Puran, Hinglaj Ki Yatra by Srimati Savitri by Verma of Karachi, Rajasthan का इतिहास by Shri Gopi Chand Sharma, राजपूताने का इतिहास by Shri Jagdish Singh Gehlot, प्राचीन राजवंश का इतिहास by पंडित विश्वेश्वर नाथ and Vanshavali Katha heard from Behel Bhatt Baruch. Now, four Varnas. In the ancient history, it is believed that there were four Varnas known as Akshatriyas: Brahman, Vaishya and Shudra. The Brahma Akshatriyas were creation of Akshatriyas, and the same Akshatriyas were later known as Brahm Akshatriyas. It is widely known that Bhagwan Parshuram had vowed to eliminate Akshatriyas from the earth, and he did it 21 times. In this context, one would like to know why Parshuram did so and how Akshatriyas survived even after that. In fact, Rishi Jamdagni had married Renuka, who belonged to Ishvaku Vansh community. Parshuram, who hailed from Bhagwan Narayan's family, was born in Rishi's house. Raja Shastrarjun was born in the family of Karatvirya of Chandravansh. He had 1,000 arms, so he was named as Shastra Arjun. He worshipped Dattatreya and was blessed with 5 Vardans: 1,000 arms, flighting out adharma, winning of whole earth, saving the people in accordance with dharma, victory on the enemies. He performed 10,000 yajnas. It was said that there was no comparison of Raja Shastrarjuna yajna, charity, worship, education and humanity. Now trouble starts. One day, Raja Shastrarjun went to the forest for hunting along with his army. After traveling a long distance, he got tired, felt thirsty and thought of taking rest. The ashram of Jamdagni was located at a little distance. Raja reached there. The rishi welcomed him, offered water and food. The Raja saw a cow there, which was Kapila. The Raja asked the rishi to hand over the cow to him, arguing that only Raja had the right to have such Kamdhenu cow. Well, turning down his request, the rishi offered to present other cows, except Kamdhenu, as she was the dearest one of the residents of the forest. But Raja insisted on his word and forcibly took away Kamdhenu cow. When Rishi's son Parshuram returned to the ashram, he found his father totally dismayed. Parshuram lost his temper. When his father told him about the Raja's act, he said, Kshatriyas are so cruel that they harassed even the rishis and deprived them even of the cow who was the lifeline for them. He will not spare the Raja. His father tried to pacify him because the Raja was very mighty and nobody could afford to fight with him. But Parshuram disagreed with his father and called an assembly of Rishi Munis. He and his associates went to Raja after having been blessed by the assembly and asked him to return the cow. Raja offered to compensate with so many other cows, but refused to return cow Kapila. It followed exchange of hot words between them. When the rishis tried to take back the cow, Raja's shoulder resisted the attempt and resorted to war with them. Parshuram succeeded in killing all the soldiers. The Raja himself entered the arena. He was also slain by Parshuram. The Kamdhenu cow greeted Parshuram with tears and returned to the ashram. Parshuram vows to eliminate Akshatriyas. Raja Shastrajan had 100 sons. They pledged to take revenge of their father's death. The rishi was also sorry to know about the violence because the Brahmins should not have indulged in such act. He felt one day when Parshuram was away to the jungle, Raja's son attacked the ashram. Rishi's wife tried to pacify them, but they killed the rishi and took away his head with them. On his return from jungle, Parshuram got agitated over the killing of his father and went to Raja's son. He killed 95, them rest escaped in the jungle. Parshuram handed over the control of the state to a Brahman and returned home crying his father's head, which he restored on the dead body and vowed to eliminate Akshatriyas from the earth. The rishi was cremated with full honors. After that, Parshuram, crying his farsa, spared on his shoulder and moved to fulfill the pledge. He started killing Akshatriyas indiscriminately and restored the control of the state to Brahmanas. Shelter in Rishi Dadichi's ashram. Parshuram entered Raja Ratna Sen's state in Sindh, which was then known as Sindhu Dweep. On getting information that Parshuram was heading towards Sindh from Panchal, Punjab, Raja alerted his army. The army lost in the war with Parshuram soldiers. Raja Ratan Sen escaped along with his wives in the jungle and took shelter in the ashram run by Rishi Dadichi. Similarly, some other Rajas also took shelter there or escaped to other countries like Iran, Egypt, China, and Russia, etc. But this could not cool down the temper of Parshuram. He kept on moving in Sindh, believing that the Akshatriyas will have to come out of the jungle. Rishi Dadichi had given shelter to Raja Ratan Sen and Queens Chandraprabha, Buddhimani, Padma, Shivakumari, and Krishnavati, on the condition that they will not cross the boundary of the ashram and accept the food whatsoever was available there. The Raja's family was housed in a portion of the ashram. All the 5 queens delivered a son each there. They were named as Jaisan, Binduman, Vishal, Chandrashel, and Bharat by the Rishi. Raja Ratan Sen takes risk. After 5 years, Raja Ratan Sen went to Rishi and expressed his desire to leave the ashram, hoping that Parshuram might have cooled down by then. The Rishi smiled and said, Parshuram will continue the massacre for next 12 years, so it is not the time to go out. You should care for the education of your children. The Raja consulted his wives and handed over all the 5 sons to the Rishi. The children were educated in Vedas and Shastras. After some time, Raja also started going to jungle for hunting and entertainment. Once he was following a lion and hit with an arrow. In the meanwhile, another arrow hit the same lion. Raja moved near the lion. Parshuram also reached there and recognized the Raja. Considering him as a Kshatriya, Parshuram challenged the Raja for fighting. Raja got nervous. He tried to escape, but Parshuram hit him with an arrow. Raja died on the spot. This gave Parshuram a clue that Raja's family must be there in the same jungle. Also, they should also be killed. He started searching them. When Raja did not return to the ashram, the queens asked their sons to search him out. The sons found their father dead and informed their mothers. The rishi also marched with Raja's family to the site and brought dead body to the ashram for cremations. The queen goats Sati's when the Pyare was light. The rishi had unsuccessfully tried to prevent from them doing so. After performing the last rites, Rishi returned to his ashram along with Raja's son and told them, "Now I am your father. I will look after you." ठीक है. Parshuram visited ashram. After some years, Parshuram reached Rishi Dadiji's ashram. While continuing his spree against Kshatriyas, Rishi welcomed him and offered food. In the meanwhile, Parshuram saw the princes and asked Rishi who they were. Rishi said they were Rishi Kumars. Parshuram did not believe it and insisted that they will have to go through a test in the evening. Accordingly, Parshuram called all the 5 boys and put some complicated questions to them. They were wise enough to qualify. Parshuram still had doubts. He asked the rishi to take food with all the 5 boys in the same until if they were really Brahman. Rishi was put to the problem, but he got ready. He arranged bananas, leaves, and sat with the boys for taking the food jointly. He drew a line before taking the meal to separate food for boys. Parshuram could not notice that, but this removed his doubt. Even after that, Parshuram took Jason Jai Sharma with him after getting Rishi's consent on the pretext of training him up in Dhanur Vidya, bow and arrow. Jason used to work as a security guard as and when Parshuram felt asleep. He served him well and used to arrange fruits also from the forest. After 12 years, Parshuram expressed his pleasure for the service rendered by Jason and offered to impart him education in bow and arrows as well as arms. Jason faces a treat. Parshuram and Jason reached Vivasta river after crossing the Preshani and Iskamati rivers. There are all the 3 rivers joined each other and are now known as Ravi, Jhelum and Chenab. The river merge in Sindhu river near Mithankot. Parshuram liked this place and wanted to spend few days before going ahead to Janakpuri. As Parshuram got tired enough, they started taking rest in the forest of Kashyap state. One day, Parshuram was having severe headache, put his head in Jason's lap, asking him to ensure safety from animals. When Parshuram was sleeping, Jason remembered his brother in the Mahinville. A scorpion attacked at Jason's leg. It caused severe pain, but the kept mum so that Parshuram might not feel disturbed. When the wound started bleeding profusely, Jay's leg crumbled. This disturbed Parshuram's sleep. He got up and asked the reason for the bleeding. Jason explained the incident and expressed regrets. Parshuram was very shocked. He said that the hot blood must be of Akshatriya. He again expressed doubt over the identity of the boy and asked, was he not a Akshatriya? Jason got frightened but quickly said, "You know that I was brought up and educated by the Rishi. Now it is your choice to kill me or not." This put Parshuram in quandary. He started thinking, Jason has qualified in Vedas and Shastras, so he must be a Brahman. He should not be killed. This will let me down in my pledge. Parshuram told Jason, "You have achieved Brahmanism, so I won't kill you, but you will forget the Shastra Vidya that you had learnt from me. This penalty is enough for you." Parshuram goes to Janakpuri. Jason humbly spoke, "Guruji, please pardon me if there is any lapse in my service, if you deprive me of arms education, it will spoil me my life. But better you kill me in the same way as you killed my father. A Kshatriya cannot be without education in arms. With these words, Jason started weeping. Parshuram said, "Oh, my son, don't shed tears. You will get rid of the course if you return to Rishi's ashram. He had educated you in Vedas, whereas I trained in you in arms. If you are blessed with the basic mantras by the Rishi, you will switch over to Aram education also." With these words, he left for Janakpuri. Now Jason was left alone there. In the meanwhile, Gautam Rishi came in and asked where Parshuram was. Jason narrated the events to the Rishi. Both of them started journey to Dadichi's ashram. On the way, Jason expressed his disgust over the course, but Gautam Rishi, while consoling him, advised Jason, "You should adopt Rishi Dadichi as your guru. The guru mantra will empower you with all sort of education. Akshatriyas become Brahm Akshatriyas." Rishi Gautam and Jason reached the ashram and narrated whole story. Jason prayed to Dadichi Rishi to oblige him with Guru Mantra. The Rishi said, "My son, the ills done by the disciple affect the Guru, so I can do everything for you but cannot become your Guru." On this, Jason and his brother caught Rishi's feet and said that their decision was final. They won't go anywhere else. The Rishi relented and put some conditions before them. They will have to take pledge for strictly becoming vegetarian and teetotaler. They will be called Brahmakshatriyas as they had been imparted education of Brahmans and Akshatriyas both. They will not harass any downtrodden, rather help the poor and needy. Another condition was the Brahmans of my sect, Saraswat, will be your Kulgurus. You will repose the same faith in my coming generation as you are having in me. Jason agreed to all the conditions. He prompted Rishi Dadichi to act as their guru. Shri Hinglaj Yatra, the Rishi Dandichi. After this, the Rishi asked Jason and his brother to accompany him to Hinglaj Devi temple located in the Gufa of Saptadvip. Elaborating it, the Rishi said, "This is an ancient and historic temple. Your grandparents had been performing puja there because Hinglaj was your Kuldevi. Rishi and Rajkumar reached the temple and performed puja with Nariyal cloth and Dhoop Deep. They erected with the following mantras. The Rishi Dadichi obliged Rajkumar with Guru mantra and blessed them that they will recapture the lost power. He also said, in future, whosoever prays and visit to the temple, he will be bestowed with blessing, and any Brahmakshatriyas who forgets his Kuldevi Hinglaj may face problems. Those who show disrespect to Saraswat Brahman may also suffer. If the Brahman of my sect takes liquor, eats meat, tells lies in dialogue, in fraud, or charges more fees and engagement or marriage, he will be condemned. If such persons are punished by Brahmakshatriyas, there will be nothing wrong in it. Any fraudulent and immoral person has no right to claim himself a Brahman. I am uttering these words because in Kali Yuga even the Brahmans may lose the sensitivity and indulge in all the acts which were prohibited by Shastras. This is how Akshatriyas became Brahmakshatriyas. Later, some of them started introducing themselves as Kshatriyas, but the fact is that Akshatriyas and Khatris are basically Brahmakshatriyas. Their Kuldevi Hinglaj Mata or Shivaaya Mata for Kaushal Gotras and Kashyap Gotras for Hinglaj Mata. Shri Varun Dev and Kul Brahmans are Saraswat Brahmans and Kul Devta of Shri Biraji Maharaj in their Brahm Akshatriya. Thank you.